right, I think I'm live. Okay, I haven't been on YouTube for quite some time. Going live. I am today though. So here we go. Let me pull this closer. We're going to paint. I'm usually on Facebook, but yeah, it's not cooperating with me. So I'm gonna come on here and visit with you guys. All right. So we have, see this pumpkin, big giant pumpkin here. We're going to turn this a little bit, and we're going to paint a pumpkin. We're going to paint this one. This one's on a 12 by 16. And I'm Karen Wolf, by the way, for those of you who haven't painted with me before, who don't know me. Hi, Tammy. Hello, girlfriend. For those of you who haven't painted with me before, my name is Karen Wolf. I am an artist, and I teach adults and children how to paint and become better painters. So we're just going to draw this on here to the best of my ability. Here, we're going to do this pumpkin. Just do your best. Acrylic paint is pretty forgiving, so you can change things up when you're painting. If you decide you want to change it, you don't like it the way it is, you can do that pretty easily. So this is just a piece of soft vine charcoal that I'm using here. Pumpkins are fun, easy, and we're getting ready to get into fall. So I know, just the 1st of August, here we are, and I'm talking about fall. But usually, I don't know what it is. If you're a crafter or you're just somebody that, enjoys painting just for yourself, fall, it just seems like August is a trigger. It gets people interested in painting again, because we get into all of our summer activities, and then we just lose track of what we're doing. We don't paint. We have all kinds of things that we're doing outside in the yard and in the garden. And then, I'm trying to get a brush over here. I just take my brush first and I stick it down in the water, and then I squeeze water out of it with paper towel. Painting in acrylic. Look at that beautiful palette I'm using. But we just have so much going on outside in the summertime. We don't have much time to paint. And then all of a sudden, we hit August and we start thinking about, fodder shocks and things we're getting out of the garden, and decorating around the house and that kind of stuff. So that's when this comes in. So this was painted with a green background, kind of greens and blues. This one I'm painting in blue. I'm going to change it up a little bit, and you can do that. It's your choice. I'm painting in acrylic paint. This is Liquitex Basics. What I'm using here is Liquitex Basics. That's usually what I paint with when I'm painting. Sometimes I use the craft paints or whatever. Oh, I got into some water. Craft paints or whatever that I have, but most of the time I paint with Liquitex Basics. In the studio here locally where I teach, I order some paints from Blick Art Supplies, and it's just a student grade paint. This is a student grade paint too. You can paint with Liquitex Professional, and that's what I use when I'm doing like portraits, pet portraits or something like but this is just a for fun thing. So I've got some blue, ultramarine blue. Put a little tiny bit of burnt sienna in there just to gray it a little bit, because it's just nice not to use paint that's just out of the tube. And then I added some white as I get closer to the pumpkin. I'm adding some white, but as I'm out to the outside edge, I'm just going to leave it a little bit dark. And if I have some different colors in there, I don't want it to be too brown, but if I have some colors that are just not quite painted in smooth, I don't care. I like to see the values in the paint, the change in the paint. I like that. So I just let it go. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Like I said, it's been an eon since I've been on here. I think I might have 2 live videos on here, but I have lots and lots of videos that I've uploaded. Just uploaded them to the page, recorded them in advance, and then I uploaded them to the page. So you all let me know when you're on here, because I can see there's 3 people, but I can't see who you are. So you all say hey when you jump on here so I can see and know who's watching if you want. Leave me a comment, like and subscribe to the page if you haven't already. That is fabulous. So what I'm doing here is I'm painting this edge. I'm grabbing this color that I have on the front and I'm painting it over on the edge. So if you don't plan to frame your painting, which a frame is nice, I don't have one right here close, this size, but it will make your painting look so much nicer if it's framed. But if you don't have a frame and you just want to just go with hanging it on the wall like this, just paint that edge. See how nice that is? See, unpainted, painted, it just makes it so nice. I am the world's worst about painting my edges. If you all, anybody that's painted with me before, you know, I'm not very good at doing that while I'm painting. I don't know why. I just, I don't know. Call me, I don't think I'm lazy. I just don't want to do it. So rinse your brush. Isn't that a pretty blue? And all I did was added just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of burnt sienna, which is an orangish brown. If you don't have that, you can add just a tiny bit of orange, or gray blue. It just grays the color a little bit and makes it so it's just not too right out of the tube blue. And I did add white. So now I'm just taking that 1-inch brush. I'm going to paint in the darker part. And anyone can do this. You don't have to have experience to paint these pumpkins. Anybody can do it. We're going to paint a couple of the dark areas here in. And I'm just going down. Y'all plant pumpkins? Anybody plant pumpkins? You got those in your area there that you plant? Or do you buy them at the store? We have to buy ours at the store. My son did plant some this year. I'm going to do a little bit of dark here, a little bit of dark here. Just to show that separation. If you go in and you do a whole bunch of this at once, you end up with this drying and you don't have blending time. So I've got some darks there. I'm going to rinse my brush. I'm going to go in, rinse that out. I'm going to get orange and some yellow. And I'm going to paint this light, these lights in. Hold back on your brush. I have a tendency to grip on mine up too close too. So we're going to put in some of the lighter, just tapping that in, some of the lighter orange. But we have to we buy pumpkins. We don't plant them. They take up too much daggone room in the garden. And we were going to plant some, but we didn't, because we just thought it took up too much room. Well, my husband thought it took up too much room. My grandson and my granddaughter would like that. So my son planted some, and I'm just pulling that over to the side. If you pull that over and paint that edge, look at that. See, you can just put that up on your wall just like that, and you don't have to worry about framing it. And if you have a frame, that's fabulous. Dark, I'm just going back into that dark color again, Just getting these darker pieces. You could paint this on wood. You could paint it on canvas. You can paint it on whatever your heart desires. Well, don't paint it on something that you're not supposed to paint. So, there is that. This is fun. Painting is fun. Painting is therapy. It is therapy, for sure. All right, there's those. And then I'm going to go back into the orange. I'm not even cleaning my brush this time in between. Just going to put some orange, bright orange, here, beside of where I have the dark. I hope I'm not, I couldn't see where you could flip the screen. I had a heck of a time figuring out how to go horizontal with my screen, but I hope it's not showing that I'm painting left-handed. And I'm just going up in between where I painted my dark. I'm just popping that light in there. And if we need to be a little bit darker in any of the areas, we can go back in and paint that in. But it's just an orange and yellow in between the dark. I use the largest brush for the job that I can tolerate. Once that brush is just too big and you just can't do it, you switch to a smaller brush. It looks like I'm getting into some brown here. I might need to get me some more orange, running out of orange. That's looking pretty good so far. There, I see a couple places where I need to go a little darker, but just keep taking that orange and yellow. And don't forget to paint on the bottom too. And I didn't paint on this side over here yet because I haven't painted the pumpkin over that far. But don't forget to paint the bottom of your canvas. I'm not going to because just for time's sake. We'll get some more orange. Liquitex Basics. Y'all tell me if that's backwards, if you can read that. I hope it's not backwards. If it is, I'll have to figure out how to flip my screen. So orange and yellow back in here, and you want to do that quickly before that darker dries. Do a little bit at a time because acrylic dries really quick, and you'll lose your blending time. See, this up here is probably already dried, but that's okay. Tap in your color. And then if you see, this one here is a smaller canvas, and I'm not leaving a opening there on the edge. I will put some grass down there, I think. If you see any places where you're not dark enough, you can go back in and do the orange and the brown. But I wanted to just pop on here and do a live. I haven't been on here for a while. I wanted you guys to have an opportunity to paint with me if you'd like. Let me know if you like this type of thing. Paint along, have fun, enjoy. I'm just getting some more of those darks in there where I wiped over them and they disappeared a little bit. Let me know too, what do you want to paint for fall? One of the hardest things, the most difficult things for me is trying to decide what to paint. It's always so difficult. I don't know why. It hasn't always been that way. It's just been most recently. So then I'm going to add some more light to these middle, the middle ones here, where see how it's really bright. And we can even add some white in there to brighten it up even more. So if you take yellow, orange, and a little bit of white, then that really pops that color bright. So that's your hoorah. That's your accent, highlight, bright. So you go dark, middle tone, light, and then you pop in a really bright where the light hits it there. All right. And we'll let that dry, and then we'll come back and we'll add some more light if we need to. Acrylic paint dries 2 to 3 shades darker, guys, so that's always a challenge. Always, always. Okay, so I think I'm going to go in with a 1/2 inch flat. These are just synthetic brushes. And this one feels like I left paint in it. I hope not. There's a trick to that, getting that out though. I have a few tricks up my sleeve. All right, so we're going to go in with some burnt sienna and burnt umber, just a dark brown color. You can add a little bit of blue, a little bit of ultramarine blue will make that brown even darker. Pretty dark right there. Your stem can be green, it can be brown, it can be whatever color you like. I'm going to do it dark here, dark here, dark here, just darken the lower parts. And then it turns dark on that side over there. And then we're going to go light by adding some white to that color. We're going to go light on the outside. This is our middle tone though, because we're going to add more light to that. I'm just kind of pulling it like that, makes it have those little rib looks in it like they do. I'm adding more white, and I want to touch that in on the top. Oops. It would probably be dark over there or under there. It depends, I guess. More light on the... always go with light on the left and my shadow on the right. Just so I don't have to think about it. Rinsing my brush. I don't necessarily like that going to a little stubby. I don't know if I like that either. But we can put some of those squigglies on there, which is fine. And then take a little bit of more white, or you can put some yellows or just brighten that up a little bit. Okay. Dragging that down through. I'm just kind of taking my brush and just kind of letting it do its thing, just dragging it through there. Then those little squiggly lines, you can do it with a liner brush or a number 4 round. This is probably a number 3 round actually. And it's that same dark color, brown, blue, burnt sienna, blue and brown. And then we're just going to put these little squigglies And it's not a very good brush to do it. Or else I just don't have enough paint on my brush. And sometimes adding a little bit of water when you're doing that helped. Add a little bit of water to it will help when you're doing a line, like a liner type thing. A script liner, or if you're using a number 4 like I am and you're trying to make a line, just add a little tiny bit of water to it and it'll go so much smoother. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of white, just like we did up here, just kind of lighting it up just a little bit here and there. All right, we're about done with this. That went pretty quick. So I hope you all enjoyed it. Like I said, if this is something you want to see more of, just like, don't forget to like and subscribe here to the page or to the channel, and let me know in the comments if there's something that you would be interested in painting. I'm just adding some white and some yellow. I'm gonna highlight here, but I don't like to use pure white. If there's something that you would like to paint, let me know in the comments, and I'd be tickled to death to come on here and paint with you guys. Maybe this is something we'll do together and enjoy. All right, so keep all your lights. Don't go all the way down to the bottom and all the way out to the outside edge with your lights. We can put a couple up here, and I think we already did with that. All right, and we could add some grass if you want to add some grasses to that. Do your 1/2 inch flat, or you can do it with a liner brush. This isn't a very good 1/2 inch flat, but we'll give it a go. I'm gonna do some green. I'm gonna add some burnt sienna. You can't probably see my plate is a mess. Green burnt sienna, go into the white. Add some light green grasses. Just pulling up. I'm not pushing hard. Don't push hard. Make some of them go that way. Some come in like they're coming in from the outside. Flatten your brush. Make a chisel on your brush. I'm just barely going here with this. Barely putting some stuff in there. Make them go down to the bottom so that they don't make them all the same height. Make them different heights. And then we'll go in. We'll add a little bit of white. Add a little bit of yellow. A little bit of white. Get some light ones. There we go. How about that? Keep your edges dark and your bottom dark. You don't want to have all your lights going down to the bottom. All right, that looks pretty cool, I think. And let me know, do you like the blue background better or the greenish blue? Let me know in the comments. All right. Thank you all so much. I hope you enjoyed that one. That was fun, quick, easy. Um, yeah. So have fun painting. Absolutely. Have fun painting. All right. Thanks for joining in. I'll see you back here on the next video and we'll paint something else. Let me know in the comments what you'd like to paint. Thank you all so much. Bye-bye.